Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I just want to thank you guys all for coming. I know that it's a long week and coming on a Friday night is not the most ideal, but I really appreciate it and super thankful. Shane is still in budget meetings, so he's apologizing again that he's not here. He says if it gets done early enough, he'll jump on, but he just wants to know that he's gotten really great feedback about the group and everybody that's in it, and he's really happy so far. So that's really good. I also wanted to say thank you for everybody that sent in grant writing testimony. We got quite a bit of testimony, and then I testified in person today too about it, and it seems like most of the council members are pretty open to it. So hopefully we see a grant writer for the department in the budget this year to get things kicked off. There is, sorry, I just got someone needs the invite in. There is a grant, federal grant webinar series that was advertised that Lane sent to me. I think one of them has already passed, which was the how to write a grant. The second one is feedback from the previous grantees that they've awarded. But the one I wanted to really get the group to hone in on is the third one, which hasn't been scheduled yet, but it's federal food systems, how to improve the federal grant process. So I think that's something that folks in this group might have some feedback on. And even if everybody can't attend, maybe we can send that feedback into me and we can make sure that it gets to somebody that can attend so we can provide that feedback as a group, because I think federal grants are super important, but a lot of the times it seems like our farmers and smaller organizations don't really have the ability to apply for those. So getting any information back to them on that process and how they can make it more open and available would be a good thing. So if anybody has information that they want to send, then we can start compiling that and have it prepared for that webinar series. You guys bear with me 1 second. I have to send an invite real quick, sorry. Sorry. I guess I'll keep talking while I'm concentrating. Last week we went over kind of just a brain dump of some of the different sectors, some of the issues, needs, and barriers that we had addressed or had encountered in the different sectors, and the things that we had seen historically, and the things that we can see happening in the future. So we're going to continue that process today. And so I will also put the link to that in the Google chat so we can pull it up. And then during that process, instead of everybody just trying to type in the Google Doc, maybe just have the Google Doc for reference and then create another document that we can copy and paste in later. That way it's not as confusing for everyone. Sorry. And then, during this process, you can go in even when we're not working in there and add things, come back to it, share it with other groups to make sure that we are hitting all the targets. And basically we'll take this information, we'll format it so that it is more legible, and then we'll see where the overlap is between the different sectors. And then the next step will be sending out a survey to make sure that the community at large has input, that we are indeed getting all of those needs, barriers, issues addressed, and that we have them on our radar. And then in that survey, we'll also put an option for people to provide the name of their organization or efforts if they're doing something to help offset some of these needs, barriers, or concerns, or they have a program that addresses it, so that we can be in the data bank of who is out there addressing these and what are they addressing and what's the contact information, so we can have that so that the department can, you know, work with them to support them rather than creating a competitive system. So let's see there. Does everybody kind of understand that process or have any questions? When we do that exercise, we go into breakout groups, so it'll be smaller groups, so you won't have to compete with everybody that's on right now too, so it makes it a little bit easier. Go ahead, Steve, you had a question? No? Does anybody have a question?
Who did you say?
Did you have a question? Your thing lit up, so I thought you had a question.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
So we're gonna break up into groups, and how do we like segregate the groups?
Hold on one second. I couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
How do we like access the different, I guess, groups?
So we'll put you into a group. It'll just automatically randomly break into groups, and you'll be in there with other people that are here. And basically everybody will just kind of start throwing out like the needs, issues, barriers, concerned. I have some that I put in to just kind of start getting dialogue going. But like adding to those, so you can be very broad, you can be very specific, you can give a specific instance, or, you know, really anything. We just want to get all of the problems and issues down on paper, so that we aren't missing anything, if that makes sense. And then we can worry about formatting and getting that, you know, more laid out down the road. So that's kind of the thing. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. So that's the Google Doc. And if you look at the bottom of the page, it'll have tabs. And we're going to start on the invasive species tab. But first, I wanted to take a poll because I know that Friday has been not the most ideal day for folks to meet. So I wanted to take a poll and just see, you know, what other days might be a better option. I know that throughout this process, one of the things was that, you know, a lot of the times people that are doing the work out in the field, the people that we want in this group, are not available to meet during the day because they're doing work. And while some of the folks that doing more administrative work or educational work are able to meet, the folks that are in the field and doing the agricultural work, like the physical work, are not able to. So we're going to try and keep it in the evening time, but look at different days. And I did give some different times in the evening. I don't know if, you know, starting at 3 is possible for people that are working, or we do need to continue starting at, you know, 5, but just kind of throwing out some different times. So I'm going to send out the poll. And if you guys just, you know, click what works for you, then we'll have that information so that we can put that out.
Sorry, can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's pulled up, but it's always going to be 2.5 hours, right? That length of time every time.
Yeah, I mean, I put 2.5 hours just because we've got a lot to go through in a year. But if, you know, if we can finish a meeting earlier, then we can finish the meeting earlier. I have no problem. I don't want to drag it on for 2.5 hours if it doesn't need to be dragged on for 2.5 hours.
How many people are on the call right now?
Right now there's 21.
Okay.
Jennifer, I'm looking at that link you sent, and you said that that has to do with invasives.
The tab that we'll start on today is invasive.
Oh, so that tab didn't show up right away, huh? You're gonna, is that part of what, is that on that list there?
There's tabs all along the bottom, and if you scroll over to the side at the bottom of those tabs, to the right-hand side, there should be like a scroll button. You'll see invasives and you'll see more options. So we went
Okay.
through, I think, the first like 6 or 7 at the last meeting.
Oh,
But if you weren't at this last meeting, you have access to that Google Doc at any time. So you can go back in on your own time and kind of fill that in. But we'd like to try and get it done within, you know, the week so that we can start compiling that information to get it out to the survey to the larger the community too.
shit. I'm lost, kiddo. Damn.
Okay, I'll bring it up on the shared screen before we go into it, just so everyone can see. So we've got about 17 people out of the 21 that have voted. So I'll give it a few, like a minute more so that everybody can vote.
So Jennifer, you might want to remind people that the way we did the breakouts last time was there was a scribe who did typing. So you don't have to be an Excel or Google Docs expert to manage this thing.
Yeah, I will. All right, we've got about 3 more people. So if you haven't voted, vote, or if you can't vote, just let me know and I can close the poll. I just want to make sure that we can get everybody's feedback on what day and times work best. Is anybody having trouble with the poll? We've got 20 out of 22, so I'm going to close the poll and just assume the other 2 don't want to vote. Okay, so it looks like Wednesday and Thursday are tied. And 50% of people said that this time, the 5 to 7:30 works the best. So is there any conflicting meetings that we should know about on Wednesday or Thursday at this time that would make it really like not ideal to have the meetings? Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes on Thursdays, the ag working group meets. That's
Okay.
like every 2 weeks, sometimes once a month.
Okay, so that would be quite a few people that wouldn't be able to attend, yeah.
Jennifer, I would change my vote then to Wednesday, from Tuesday to Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday,
It's preferable over Thursday, yeah.
okay.
I like Friday.
You gotta make it difficult.
William, will Wednesday work even though you prefer Friday, or?
No, I will go with the majority.
Okay,
Just being difficult, you know me. I think I chose Tuesday
okay,
Me
keep me on my
too.
toes.
because all the other days are spoken for.
Okay, so I've got a few more people that say Wednesday is better than Thursday. So I guess we'll go with Wednesday from 5 to 7:30.
Oh, actually, I can't. I don't think I can make it on Wednesday because I'm working about 14 hours that day.
So this will be continuous. So we'll just set the meetings on Wednesdays from 5 to 7:30. So would that be a continual conflict for you or just?
Yes,
Yes.
it would.
I also have continual conflict on Wednesdays. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to take Wednesday and Thursday and then put it out to a poll with just the steering committee to see what days the majority of the steering committee is able to commit to. So the steering committee and the co-chairs, because they're the ones that are going to have to do the majority of the work. So we'll, I guess, finalize that, not right now, just a little bit later. So, but it'll be between Wednesday and Thursday from 5 o'clock to 7:30 was the majority time by quite a bit. So hopefully we can get a day that works best for the whole group. And I'm recording all of these. So at any time you can go back and watch them if you did miss them. Okay, so sorry, I know it's hard to get everybody on the same page with days because there's a lot of us. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you guys how to get into the Google Doc and see that. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So right down here is where you scroll between the different tabs. So last week we did aquaculture, economy, farming, food security, forestry, and funding. So anytime you can go back in and add stuff. It's not formatted. We're just dumping all of the issues, barriers, needs into these tabs. And throughout this, you're more than welcome to put stuff about the ahapua'a. We kind of discussed last time that that was something that kind of transcended all of the sectors. So, you know, putting that in there is definitely applicable in any of these tabs. So we got through funding, and so this one we'll be going through is invasive species. So, you know, I just kind of put some things in and then we're going to add to it. So in each group, you're going to have to ask somebody to take notes. Ideally, it would be electronically. They would just type in a document and just kind of get a gist of what everyone is saying and add their own things too. So that doesn't exclude them from the conversation. And I'll check on each group as we go to make sure that they've got somebody to take notes, that they're not having any issues or anything like that. We're remembering to be respectful and be open. We're not talking about solutions at the moment because I don't want to get sidetracked about solutions. You know, maybe you'll put something out and I'll be like, oh, my organization can address that. We're not doing that right now. That will come after. So it will happen, just not right now. We want to make sure that we get all of the issues down. So that's what we're going to be focusing on first. And this is a really good way, you know, in the last exercise for people to learn about each other. We start learning about how these issues are crossing various sectors, how they're affecting multiple people, and how they're really interconnected. So it's not only a way for us to get this information, it's also a way for us to learn about each other and learn about the issues that we're all experiencing, just to kind of, you know, do that community building and, you know, start with that education and awareness of all the issues that are going on. Okay, so everybody can see this, and then how to scroll over at the bottom. So this is how you scroll between the two tabs right down there at the bottom right-hand corner.
Thanks, that's real clear.
Okay. So we're gonna go back in. And some folks are on their phone, so just because you can't see them doesn't mean that they aren't able to participate. But if anybody does have issues participating, just text me. Go ahead, Jerry.
So I have the Google document open. So as a scribe, I can type directly into that and it modifies the document as we go. And then you'll collate all this stuff later on. It's like it's an elastic document.
It is a live document. However, I will say when all of the groups are typing in there at once, it becomes very hard because it's a live document. So you might start typing over each other. So I would suggest opening another, just a clean document and just start typing in bullet list form, and then we can just copy and paste it right into the document.
Okay.
Jennifer, can
Or-
we add, just for those who aren't familiar with Google Docs, do you want us to just like add a sheet and put like invasive species like 2 or whatever, or addendum or something like that, and then you'll collate from there? Or are you saying to open up a whole entire document and then have someone email it?
If opening up a sheet is easier, that's fine. If doing it in a separate column outside of the first column is easier, that's fine. It's just if everyone starts trying to type in that first column, it makes it really hard because people start typing over each other. And because it's a living doc, when you type, it will take out what has already been typed. It's constantly modified. But the good thing about it is that this living document can be added to it anytime. We can see who made changes. We can see when the changes were made, all of that kind of stuff. And, anybody can access it anytime. So it allows us to continue compiling that information. But when a lot of people are working it at once, it becomes kind of difficult. But don't worry about your, like spelling or formatting or anything like that. It's really just brain dumping, getting all of those issues, having that conversation and getting that information out and learning about what's going on, and making sure that we're respectful and listening and not talking over people and things like that. So I'm going to get us going into the groups. Does anybody have any questions before we go into the group? Go ahead, Nate.
It might be simpler if we just group breakout 1 and put that separate column in that same sheet that says group 1, and then the second column group 2, third column group 3. Then people aren't typing over each other.
It could, but sometimes it doesn't wrap, so it'll like either cut off or start going into the other person's column, so it still might be kind of messy. But like Jamie was saying, you can open another tab at the bottom and name your group, or you can just open like another document and start typing and then send it to me, or we can copy and paste at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see, there's about 22 of us. So I'll put us in 4 breakout rooms. And so it's going to pop up to join the room, and then I'll go ahead and give us 10 minutes on each thing unless we need more. And at the end of 10 minutes, it will kind of give you a 1-minute warning about when you're going to be coming back into the main group. So you'll kind of see. Okay. All right.
It's invasive species, right?
Invasive species. Yes, that's the one we're starting on. All right, you guys, here we go. Okay, so everybody should have gotten an invitation to join. Nate, are you able to join? Nate, are you able to join?
Are you doing a meeting now? Are you doing a meeting?
Mm-mm.
Good man. Okey
Hey,
dokey.
how did that go for everybody?
Good.
No problem.
Good.
Everybody got the hang of it?
It's like last week.
Okay, yeah, it's last week, but we didn't have some people last week because it was the holiday. So I just wanted to make sure everybody's good. It seemed like everybody got some note takers down, and we had a few people join late, but we were able to get them in. So we'll just continue this process, and so we're taking this information after everybody does their groups, and then we're going to put it into the Google Doc so it's all one, sheet. So all of these ideas, and then we'll go through and find the duplicates and format it, and then we'll have the discussion with the larger group and create the survey to put that out to the bigger community. So that's kind of the end goal. So everybody's not like, well, what about, will the whole group get to hear it? But they will. It's just, if we tried to do a breakout session with the whole group, it would take a very long time and we wouldn't get through much. So we're trying to maximize our time and impact. So I will go ahead and start the next breakout group. The next topic is going to be land use. I know this is a big one too, so we'll do 10 minutes, and if I think we're still really getting a lot of ideas out, then we can let it go on for a little bit longer. But I'm just going to keep, popping in the different groups. If you have questions, let me know. But okay, here we go. Go ahead and join your breakout group, and we're doing land use.
Hey, Mana,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to go outside for a few minutes. So whatever it is, catch it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How are you guys doing? Was that enough time? I know. Yeah.
Never
Okay. Great. So we'll just keep moving right along. So the next topic is going to be markets and distribution. So you can kind of look at that from different angles, whether you're talking about grocery stores, farmers markets, CSAs, or like shipping, things like that. It's a pretty broad topic. So just put what you can. Remember, we're not talking about solutions. We're talking about just getting all of those needs, issues, barriers onto paper.
There's a land use two. There's the land two tab.
That's another group. They made a tab to just put their stuff in so that we can transfer over to the main tab.
Okay.
Any other questions before we go to the next? Good. Okay.
corner, so to speak.
Sorry if people get cut off during that process. I know it kind of goes abruptly once that countdown ends. So I hope everybody got their time in. If not, you know, these sheets are open. So you have that link, you can go in at any time. If something comes up at 10 tonight and you want to put it in, put it in. If you were like, hey, I know somebody that really has a lot of info on this, send them the link. Let's get it, you know, just get it in there. So we've got 4 more. You guys are doing wonderful. I hope you guys are learning a lot and learning about each other too. The next one we have is policy. So when we talk about policy, we're talking about administrative rules, we're talking about state policy, federal policy, market, you know, regulations, Department of Health regulations, county regulations. So anything in that area, which I'm sure everybody has something at least to say. So we'll go ahead and start that group. All right.
We didn't
Trying
get
to
all the
finish
questions with that one.
finish my thought before the.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, what's the word I was looking for there? The bureaucracy.
walk us
Navig-
through
Yeah,
it.
bureaucracy. That's the word.
navig-
That's the word.
Navigating
Yeah.
the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Got it.
one. Good one.
Thank you.
That was a really good discussion in all the groups, you guys. It was, you know, in a way, this is a type of therapy too, to know that you're not alone in this madness. And, everybody's had a lot of the same issues and frustrations. And, there are plausible solutions and ways to address it. So thank you guys all for that. The next one is also a big topic, ranching. So we will go ahead and break into that. And I'll give you guys 10 minutes for that. And then if there's still discussion, I'll give a little bit longer, but we'll see. All right.
We're gonna take Melga out at some point. I think so. All right. Any new jacaranda flowers? Any new jacaranda flowers? And how did you interpret it? Huh? And what? Well, what can't you do it? Quickly. Is it open and closed? Is it keeping the weather out of the house? But you can't open and close it?
Oh, it's okay. Who cares about lock? Is that it? We got no issue. Even if they sent you parts to fix it, who'd do that?
all the more reason why we should be able to handle this stuff ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We can do it. We just need to be open to what's out there and bring it in.
very, very true. Very true.
That was a really good discussion. You guys are doing amazing. Yeah, I'm just every time I go into a different group, I'm like, yes, spot on, awesome. It's like exactly what we need. So I'm glad that everybody's learning about these different issues. It's creating that conversation larger across the different sectors and different players. So this is really important. We have two more, and they're going to be big, probably big ones, because we're thinking, you know, water is huge. So I might give you guys 15 minutes for water. What are you thinking? Or do you think 10 is sufficient? 15. Okay. So we'll go 15 minutes for water, and then we'll touch base back. And thank you guys all. You guys are doing amazing.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, you guys. I know that was it's a
That
big,
was a tough one.
yeah. But yeah, please continue to jot those thoughts down, and even if you don't feel comfortable putting them in Google Docs, you can send them directly to me too, and I can put them in there for you. So anytime you think of something, just like maybe open notes on your phone and write it down.
Hey, Jennifer, this is Annie. I have a question. Now, I became the scribe for a group the last time because a child has to eat after all, right? So anyway, I've just put it in the link that you gave me, and I typed it in right there. So I hope you'll be able to access that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, very good.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
Bless you.
Busted.
Okay, so we have one more, you guys, and we're actually probably going to finish early tonight, so that's good. Yay, good news.
Yay, yay for us.
You guys have a Friday back. So the last one is waste streams. So when we're talking about waste streams, we're talking about composting, we're talking about animal waste, we're talking about food produce, food produce waste, the whole kind of kit and caboodle. Like, we have a lot of waste streams in Maui County. What are the needs? What are the barriers to utilizing those? What are the concerns with utilizing those? Getting all that out on paper. So we'll go 10 minutes again and try to get you guys out of here just a little after 7. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Oops.
All right, awesome job, you guys. We got through all of them. Give yourselves a hand.
That was good. That was
You
really
guys
good.
did it. Had some amazing conversations. And if you were here this week but not here last week, feel free to go through the first couple of tabs on your own time. Let's get those, keep building. And you know, that will stay open if you want to share that link with other people to add to. Please do that. I'm going to send out an email to the steering committee to finalize the next meeting time, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday. As far as that goes, you know, from this information, we'll go ahead and format it, and then we can see the needs that are crossing those different sectors. It naturally sees where our priorities are, you know, starting to bubble up, and then we can take that, put out a survey to get the rest of the like larger community feedback, which will also have a space for them to, you know, put forward any information about organization or programs or initiatives that are happening to address any of these issues, to start that database as well. And then from there, we'll start looking at the actual writing of the legislation. So thank you guys all for this process, for all your input. I'm super thankful to be a part of this, hear all of this amazing information. Does anybody have any questions before we go?
No.
Everybody's ready to go. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend.
I do have a comment. Jennifer, I just want to thank you, and I think you're doing a great job. And I wish you all the health and joy to continue on this journey.
Ditto.
You guys are all amazing.
Ditto.
Thanks, Bobby.
All right, have a wonderful weekend, you guys.
Okay.
Don't work too hard. All right.
Ahoy-ho.
Aloha.
Ahoy-ho.
I'm here if anybody needs to say anything afterwards too. So, as always.
Oh, William? Okay.
It's nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
I
You have it so well organized. My hat go out to you. Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm trying my best. I'm not always the most organized person, but I'm trying.
No, but you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And yeah.
I just hope it makes sense to everybody, you know, because for so long everybody is just like this whole process, nothing ever makes any sense. They don't use critical thinking skills. So I really wanted to do something that, you know, people were like, I understand that process. That makes sense. Okay. You know,
and everybody has such good ideas, you know, everybody puts their head together and it's like, oh, you know, just go for it, you know. I mean, it's so much. I mean, if can conquer, you know, each, you know, little bits and pieces and get it going. I mean, everybody's just going to be so happy and joy and not frustrated. And, you know, every time you look, you know, like for us, me and William stay on the phones forever, going back and forth, because next thing you know, we're working, we like 11:30 in the night, we're talking, and, you know, the next thing you know, they're changing rules and right behind of us, they're just coming in. And the worst is this Zoom now. You know, before this, you had to go testify. Now they're with the Zoom, they're just hiding everything and they're just pushing things through. Next thing you know, you're trying to testify. And of course, I live off the grid, you know, and I have sometimes hard time with my computer. And so I cannot testify fast enough, you know, and it's gone, you know, and it's really bad. It's really bad. Yeah. And they're doing it for a reason, you know what I mean? Because they figure they don't have the public coming down their throat on it, you know.
I think yes. And I mean, with this council, to be honest, I think they're just so, you know, with the state too, they have to get through so much in a short time.
I'm talking about not so much the council people, but up in Oahu, the ledge. That's the one. The council people, they're working, you know, pretty good, and they pretty much let everybody know when they putting stuff on. But I'm talking about, I mean, when we're doing this, it's all ledge, and it's like there comes the rules, and and everything changing, you know what I mean? Everything is coming behind and changing. I have no problem. The council been really good about doing things, you know what I mean? So it's been really
Yeah.
good with.
I heard one of the groups mention that the process with the ledge where you end up having like 400 bills that you have to go through in 4 months. The only people that can keep that pace are people that are paid to do it. And even they can't do it because the legislators are calling people for feedback because they're not able to read the bills.
Yeah.
So that is something that is definitely, you know, if the state is only able to look at these things and cram them through, then maybe they shouldn't be legislating over agriculture.
Mhm.
You
No,
know,
yeah. They need to get focused on agriculture. You know, you
Yeah.
get Lindy Court. She's an ag person, but where's the rest of the people behind when they're coming behind? And people they cannot, they're fighting, you know, you get one person trying to fight and you get the rest all dangling behind, you know,
Yeah.
and then they, oh, it's my way. I'm gonna do this. It's like taking the Kyo school and supposedly turning that into an ag thing for the kids. It's now not even going anywhere right now, you know? And it's pretty sad. You know, you're looking at all this money coming from them for parks, for this. Come on, give it agriculture some money, you know, we need. You know, this park is getting, now they're making a new baseball field for teen kids. So the